Have you ever stood at a threshold, heart racing with the bittersweet taste of new beginnings, only to face the roar of unseen storms? Picture the hesitant brush of fingers in a crowded market, the scent of fresh-baked bread mingling with the sharp tang of unspoken fears, much like those pivotal moments in history when explorers like Christopher Columbus gazed at unknown horizons, their hopes laced with dread. This is the essence of Episode 4 of Sousou no Frieren Season 2, released on February 6, 2026, a chapter that delves into the fragile dance of young affection amid looming perils, fitting snugly into the arc of venturing into the treacherous northern plateau. I was personally struck by its raw honesty, like a quiet confession in the dead of night, hinting at bonds that could shatter or strengthen without giving away the fractures. What if crossing one simple line, be it a city gate or a heartfelt invitation, unleashes chaos you never saw coming? You'll feel the flutter in your chest, the chill of approaching danger, and a burning need to witness how these fragile steps unfold, drawing you in not for the tale itself, but for the mystery of what it awakens in you. Available on Crunchyroll, this episode picks up where the last left off, Stark's nervous invitation to Fern for a date in the fortress city of Heiss, following their hot spring detour and heirloom quest that hinted at deepening ties. Imagine yourself in Stark's shoes, much like a young soldier in ancient Rome planning a rare moment of peace before battle, heart-pounding as he maps out the perfect day with Frieren's quirky advice. Touring shops, sharing meals, all in a bid for connection. But the outing turns comically clumsy, filled with stilted talks and mishaps that echo those classic, cringeworthy first encounters in life's own scripts. As the group finally crosses into the northern plateau, thanks to Fern's elite mage status easing the checkpoint, the tone shifts sharply. Ambushed by ferocious monsters, like a hulking ogre and dinosaur-like beasts, they unleash coordinated spells and strikes in a whirlwind fight. Settling in a remote village, they trade monster slaying for a cozy cabin stay. This transitions the story from personal whispers to grand threats, leaving you on edge. How will these tender moments survive the wilds ahead? The suspense coils like a spring, pulling you toward the screen for the revelations that promise to redefine their path. This episode propels the narrative like a river surging from calm pools to raging rapids, reminiscent of historical turning points such as the Lewis and Clark expeditions' push into untamed lands. It advances the main arc by finally breaching the northern plateau, a key revelation in the party's quest northward, with no major twists but a gripping cliffhanger, the promise of tougher foes ahead, testing their unity. Pacing strikes a brilliant balance, slow and tender in the date scenes, explosive in combats, creating dramatic harmony without overwhelm. Fans on Reddit and X often puzzle over cloudy aspects like the date's awkwardness. Why does it flop so spectacularly? Drawing from manga chapters 66 to 67, post the hot spring setup in 65. It clarifies this as intentional. Stark's inexperience mirrors Frieren's past naivety, while the fights highlight evolving teamwork, absent in earlier episodes. Previous installments built this. Episode 3's invitation stems from idle boredom, echoing Season 1's growth arcs. Reddit threads buzz about the contrast, noting how it underscores the show's core, life's quiet interludes amid chaos. Truly, it's no filler. The manga reveals the plateau's dangers as a forge for bonds, explaining why mere survival demands emotional leaps. Frieren's depth shines through her detached yet poignant guidance, her hidden wounds from eternal solitude surfacing in flashbacks, consistent with her immortal lens but surprising in tender moments, like advising Stark with echoes of her hero party's patience. Fern's motivations unfold as guarded vulnerability, her choices transformative. Agreeing to the date reveals a softening shell, much like a historical figure emerging from isolation. Stark grows most strikingly, his bungled efforts, born from genuine care, surprised with sincerity, dialogue shifting from bravado to raw honesty. Their arcs feel organic, propelling from Episode 3's setup into real evolution. Power manifests not in raw might but in fragile trust, questioning morality through Stark's earnest fumbles. Do we sacrifice pride for love? Survival pits hope against despair in the plateau's ambushes, where quick choices echo historical sieges, demanding sacrifice for the group's sake. These themes weave into struggles. Fern's hesitation versus Stark's boldness probes identity, asking if time heals or hardens us, leaving you reflecting on your own guarded hearts. New lore emerges with the northern plateau's rules, restricted to elites, teeming with mythical beasts like ogres, that complicate the universe, enriching it like forbidden frontiers in explorer tales, adding layers of danger and isolation that heighten stakes. The script is poetic and impactful, steering clear of cliches. Stark's halting questions carry foreshadowing weight, resonating long after, akin to Shakespeare's subtle confessions in Romeo and Juliet. Lines like tentative date chit-chat build suspense, placing you right there. Sense the awkward pause, the market's bustle, as if you're witnessing a pivotal scene in your own history. Curiosity curiosity spiking for what unspoken truths might erupt next. Art director Sawako Takagi crafts a masterpiece. Fluid animations in frenzied fights contrast stillness in intimate talks, colors warming from city golds to plateau grays, symbolizing shifts from comfort to peril. Lighting casts long shadows during confessions, movement bursts in battles. These choices make beauty signify vulnerability, crediting the animators and visuals director for turning visuals into emotional anchors. Director Keiichiro Sato's angles, wide shots of monster clashes, intimate close-ups on flushed faces, amplify tension, editing rhythms pulsing like a racing heart, mirroring the episode's emotional swings. Evan calls OST haunts like a spectral guide, motifs crescendoing in combats to sear into memory, elevating chaos. Silence during date lulls speaks volumes, louder than roars, evoking the hush before historical storms. Itsumi Tanizaki as Frieren infuses timeless whimsy with subtle tremor, embodying quiet wisdom. Kana Ichino's as Fern delivers intensity in hesitant tones, capturing inner turmoil. Chiaki Kobayashi's stark shines with raw timbre, his stammers revealing a soul's earnest depth. This episode scarred me with its tender ache, sparking wonder at love's clumsiness amid violence, like surviving a battlefield only to face heartache. The climax, a ferocious monster clash, collides destinies in a breaking point that reshapes alliances. It echoes universal queries. Can fragile bonds endure endless trials? You'll feel the blades bite, the date's uneasy warmth, pondering your own crossroads, suspense building to demand you watch and uncover if hope triumphs or crumbles. Critics might note the split structure's complexity or opacity in quick shifts, but reverse that. It's deliberate, like Tolstoy's juxtapositions in War and Peace, thematic choices heightening contrast for deeper resonance. The pacing dips briefly, yet it amplifies anticipation. Overall, admiration outweighs nits. A poised episode with purposeful edges. Episode for triumphs in blending whimsy with weight, its strengths in character intimacy and action outshining minor divides, succeeding as a narrative bridge to greater depths. I anticipate fiercer tests ahead. But what if this threshold is yours? A whisper challenging you to embrace the unknown. Watch, and let it become the unavoidable stride in your soul's unfolding quest.